Hi guys, we're Imber.
Hello!
Hello, we're Imber. Okay, Imber started actually, well, everyone in Imber has played in bands, several bands before. This is not our first band for any of us, but the common thing we have in the band is that we always played with guys. So I just, like 5 years ago, I decided to start a good band, a good female band, just not because it's all females, just because it's a good band, and show everyone that it doesn't have to be like corsets and leather and you know, walking on stage with strap-ons on yourself. Like you can be a good musician even if you're a girl, and you can be as competitive as the guys. So I tried to start auditioning for members of Imber, and I think Sweden is a good country for it because there's so much good musicians per capita, or what you say. I think I went through like 40 or 50 guitarists,
and then finally I came.
I met Madde, and she just thrashed through the songs and thought they were like baby food. So that was kind of obvious. Actually, the first name of Imber was Frantic Amber. They actually continued afterwards, but we tried for 1 year, but it didn't work out though. I tried to like teach them the songs, but it didn't work out. It was more like the other bands, the other female bands. But this worked out, and then we found a singer, and we had another bass player, and we've walked through a lot of members. It's been really hard to set up this band because it's always a question of ambition and stuff. So, but now we're fucking there. Everyone's sharing the ambition. Everyone shares like
same
dream, and we all input like our music, our individual influences to the music, and that's why we sound like we do. So I've been playing drums for like 15 years, and the other one has been playing for a long time as well. I've been in a lot of different bands. I mean, I've been playing, maybe if I tell you a bit how I got into music. I started out I come from a Muslim family, so it wasn't like easy to start playing death metal. I mean, the first album, I just talked to my mom like, I want this album, and it was Far Beyond Driven with Pantera, and on the cover it's a skull with a corkscrew driven right through it. So it was kind of difficult to get her to buy it to me, but she did actually eventually. And then I got to borrow a drum kit, and I just sat in my mom's bedroom listening to the Pantera album and just playing along. So that's how I learned to play drums. As a lot of people in Sweden, we have actually in school we have free music lessons. So that's why we have a lot of musicians, because the music lessons in Sweden are free when you go to school. So I started out playing piano though, but then I got into the heavy music. I listened a lot to grunge, like Alice in Chains and stuff, and Soundgarden and Rage Against Machines. So that's a bit of the influences, and then I started to listen more to death metal and gent metal and stuff. I went to later on, when I finished high school, I went to the music college in Stockholm. And then I've been playing music for a couple of years. So that's how I did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm Madde, and I started playing guitar when I was 11 or 12, I think, like classical guitar. But it wasn't really my thing to play acoustic guitar, so I bought myself an electric guitar and started listening to Metallica and Ingvar Malmsteen and all the classical bands. Sat with my computer and just looking at the tabs and learning the songs. And of course playing with a lot of bands, like teaching myself to play guitar. And right after my previous band was quit. What do you say? we quit. We quit. Leah actually called me. She found my number somehow.
Yeah,
and she called me and said,
"No,
"Hi,
it was like this.
Band?"
It was like this. I had a girl over for an audition, and she didn't nail the songs, and she was so bad that she felt like she had to recommend another guitarist, and it was Madde. And then she recommended Madde, and I called her right away when the other guitarist was still in the studio. And you just 2 days previous, you just quit the band. The band was like split up.
Yeah.
And I think it's been like that with all of us. Like we 2 days after the previous band split up, we talked to them. Like we found the members. So we had a bit of luck in the unlucky situation.
Yeah, I'm me, the singer in Imber. Also doing screams or growls. I started off with piano, I think it was, yes. And also, like Leah said, in school you have free music lessons, so I went on from there. Started with piano, guitar, drums, everything that I thought was cool, because I had an older brother that listened to hard rock music, like skate punk and everything. So I thought he was cool and I wanted to be as cool as him. So when he got his first guitar, I wanted to play the guitar, so I'd steal the guitar from him. I'm like kidding now and saying like, I took all your dreams. It sounds very horrible. Because he had a skateboard as well, and I took it and I went for it up. Now we just sit at home. No, I'm kidding.
He just sits at home with his knife and just carves his arm.
No, I'm just kidding. It's
He's
quite
playing emo violin. La, 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 with the
Thank
knife.
you. No, but and then we had a lot of musicals. I thought it was funny to be on stage. At an early age, and we had like Christmas celebrations with a lot of Christian songs and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's the beginning, and then I started to look after more bands. It got more into metal music from hard rock. And then I heard Dimmu Borgir, black metal band.
Norway, right?
From Norway. And I really liked the sound of his growls. So I started to imitate the sound I heard. And I really don't know how it went. Everybody's asking me like techniques, and now I've been starting to think of it. But at that time, I was just imitating and yeah, trying to make the same sounds. And yeah, then I started in a lot of bands, like not very good ones, like a metalcore band, and then the name. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm sorry. But we actually went recording 5 songs at Madde's studio. That's how we met the first time, but 1 year later, maybe.
Yeah,
I think
when we wanted a singer, I remembered me that she was kind of good at singing, kind of good at growling. So I thought, but that was a lot of years ago. So we'll give her a call and see if she's any good now. And
yeah, like the first, there was like in the beginning it was just Madde and me, and we were like, we have to get a fucking singer. We have to get someone that can growl and that can sing normally, and that can be like awesome on stage, because Imber is all about live performance. It's gonna kick your ass live. So we had to have everything, and we tried to think of so many singers, because I mean, Sweden is a small country. We know most of the singers and stuff, but we didn't. Nothing like came to mind. We tried a couple, but it was not good enough. and then we remembered me. Mother was a sound engineer for them, so she remembered me and said like she was okay.
She was mediocre.
Maybe she has evolved, and she did. She had.
It's really funny because she actually wrote that in the letter. Like,
Yeah, you.
I
weren't that
remember
good, but
you were quite good, but you can come and try with us. I was like, okay.
Have you got your book yet?
And I was practicing.
Have you got your period?
I was practicing for so long before, and I was so nervous. Oh,
You were like in the puberty when you did it.
yeah, I was.
When you came to audition, we came like to the first course or something. You and I just looked at each other
Yeah.
and like,
That's always how it should
what
be.
the fuck? This is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's
Yeah.
the same feeling. I think everyone that listens to hard rock or rock music, they all share something that they all remember the first time they listened to a good song, a rock song, because the feeling they had, it's always like, fuck, what's the sound, man. It's like you remember it all your life, and I think all people that listen to hard rock does remember that one time in life. And that's what me said with Dimmy Borgir, and that's what I felt with Pantera. When I stood in that record store with my mom on the other side with the headphones on, and like, I have to play in a fucking band! And I did. And you did with Metallica, and you probably did too, right?
Yeah. Hey. Or hello in English. I'm Lisette.
Hey!
I play guitar, and I started out playing piano when I was 5. Or my mom forced me to play classical piano actually. But when I became a teenager, I found a band called Green Day.
But the thing is, she's a fucked up good classical pianist. You won't believe she's fucked up good. She
So
fuck you up, man.
whatever. I started out playing guitar because I wanted to be like Billy Joe Armstrong, and
And he walk on the moon, man. Armstrong.
okay, and then I had a boyfriend, and he listened to metal music, and he introduced me to a band called Children of Bodom, who's a Finnish melodic death band, and they were amazing. A combination of that neoclassical stuff. It was quite an easy transaction for me to do. So, and after that I just got heavier and heavier, started listening to Lamb of God and At the Gates, and started playing in a band, my first band, and at my first band's last gig, they found me. They saw me, and after the gig, I got off the stage, and they just came up to me, you were good, or you just
I don't know. We probably said like you were good, but not that good.
But if you come to us,
The member thieves in Imber. Like, the thing is, we went to actually we've been searching for another guitarist, then for about a year. And you remember we went to a rock club in Stockholm, just looking at a band because there were apparently 2 girls playing in that band, and they sucked ass. It was so fucking horrible.
and one of them.
Lisette was one of them. Sorry, but the thing is, she's a lot better now. She's a lot better now, but it fucking sucked ass.
You need to start somewhere.
Lisette had the potential, okay? She's very good now.
Maybe I was a good guitarist, but maybe not the band was good.
No, I think it was the band actually. The atmosphere on stage was like in my toilet. No, it was fucking horrible.
But I ended up here.
And we were at their last show. We were actually the judges in a competition, wasn't it like that? At their last show. We were judges, and we said like, vote them out, and we take the guitarist.
Oh.
Yes. The way we make songs in Imber, it's very varied. It's like sometimes we make a guitar riff, we build everything from a guitar riff. Sometimes we write a lyric or something, and sometimes we even get an idea of a song from a producer or something, and then we make it our own. So everyone in Imber is part of the song producing, like the songwriting. So that's why we get the different styles in it, because we have the grunge, we have the like pop commercial thing, we have the metal, we have the like a lot of different influences, and when you mash it up, it becomes Imber. So
it's pretty cool. We have like, if you come with a song that is very grunge,
yeah,
very grungy, for example, then before we start all involved in the song and like mixing it up, it's like we say to each other like, this is gonna get Imber later.
Yeah.
And it always turns out
it always
totally different.
Like whatever we do, even if we write like a Meshuggah riff, it always ends up sounding Imber in some way.
Yeah. I can come also with like piano stuff, like chords that sounds very poppy. And then that can be the hardest fucking metal song ever. Afterwards, it's
like
fun.
if you wanna try if you can make a good metal song out of a pop song, you can do good music. Like we have a cover. We play a cover. This is gonna sound weird, but we do a cover from Christina Aguilera's "Genie in a Bottle" when we play live. And it's the thing is, people doesn't know it's that song until the chorus, and then everybody, all the rockers in the audience is like, "I'm a genie in a bottle, woohoo, yeah!" And it's like,
I love it.
if you can do a good rock song or metal song from a pop song, you have something going on.
And that's the idea of the EP, I guess. All the songs come from different angles. One song is from the producer who thought this song idea is good for you. So we took it to the rehearsal studio and tried it out and made it Imbery. And yeah, the other songs.
Yeah, we had a really good producer. He's called Per Aldeheim. He's worked with Led Zeppelin and stuff, like really big bands. He's an awesome producer, and he had 2 songs that he showed us that's on the album, right? That we redid.
No,
and
just one.
Oh, it's just one. We Imberized it.
And the other songs, I guess we wrote just us at first, like a demo version, and then we meet up with our producer, and he says what he thinks about it, and we just kind of rubs it, and
it's very good having a producer that makes like small changes that makes it perfect, because you're kind of you're so into what you've done, so you don't hear it as a whole, you don't hear it from the outside. So that's how we did. But I mean, it's the songs on the album is ours, and we wrote them. All of us has been writing them. So when the full length album comes out, it's gonna be as good, but it's gonna be a bit harder though, a bit heavier.
yeah, harder.
Harder pieces.
It's gonna be heavy. Yeah, it's gonna weigh like a kilo. The heaviest CD in the mankind is made of lead. No, but the thing is, when we play our live show, Imber has always been about live shows, and when we play live, we have fucking hard songs. It's the same style, but it sounds much more heavier, and we always like thrash the stage. So we're gonna like, when we make the full-length album, it's gonna sound. You're gonna get the full idea of Imber, the full picture.
I was thinking about the lyrics are pretty much all about like killing someone or hating someone
or fucking them and screwing them and saying bye.
Yeah,
it's like
putting them in the electrical chair in a barbecue.
I think it's like an alter ego,
Yeah.
like the whole lyric thing.
It's a lot
like
of violence.
it's the part of you that you know you have, but you don't show.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a lot of depression and
And it's also an exaggeration of how you feel daily. Like the lyrics is not just like made up or stuff. It's from our lives. Yeah, like all
a little bit
all
twisted,
bands probably.
though, we
I
should
mean,
say.
it's a bit but you push it on
Yeah.
and you imagine stuff. So it's an exaggeration of what you feel every day. You can say of what we feel every day.
Yeah, and the name, the song, "The Breaking Point" that is on the album is about killing, yeah, like killing stuff.
Says the little blonde girl here.
Yeah,
About killing.
killing people. It's also the title of the album, and that's like two-headed. The other meaning of it is like this is our breaking point, our first release, and our first real record together, and this is our breaking point, and now it's only up. You have to show them what you got all the time.
Always be.
You're always like fighting from below.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Because they usually think you're a good band for being females. Like they already know that there are good female bands, but there will never be a female band that's as good as a guy band.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, we know like that,
In the
and that's
beginning.
kind of the reason why we started the band, because we want to change the view on female bands. And that's why we're not on stage with the corsets and strap-ons and swords and stuff, singing about heels of steel. Point taken. But we go there with our, like, as we are, and just fucking trash the place, and showing them that, like, what's up?
That we can play, and then afterwards they always come and like apologize and can we come to the after party with you? And we're like,
I think like a good example is we have a really big rock festival in Sweden. We have a lot though, but this one is like it's. I think they sell about 26,000 tickets every year, and we tried to book a gig there, and the answer we got was like, no, we already booked a female band.
so they had fun.
So it's like, oh, did you have a quote? I didn't know you had a quote, man. It's like, okay. And the thing is, the mentality is very common like that. If you're gonna have like two female bands or two bands with one girl in it, it's gonna be a female rock night. But what? Like, there's a lot of websites online. It's like, oh, female rock bitches and hosts. Like, and there's a couple of bands, and it's one girl singing in the bands, and it's like it's a female band. Then, what's up with that? Can't it just be bands? If they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad.
And also, like, on stage, another thing, you get a lot of help from the guys.
Yeah,
who are like, you can do that. Or how about
Yeah,
what
they want to
say?
help us carry stuff because they think we can't do it.
Yeah, and the sound engineers comes up and like starting to change things on my amp. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I'm just putting a good sound, but I already have my sound. You don't have to do that. I know how my amp works. But yeah, that's what we've.
I've had people coming up to my drum kit and putting bits of tape on my cymbals, and like trying to tune my drums. And I'm like, what the fuck? I have my own drumstick. I have my own drumsticks with my name on it. Do you think I need this help? And they're like,
well, that's what we're fighting for. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually fun also.
in like short term, or if we talk about like next year, we want to get a record deal, of course, and get a full-length album out, I guess.
Yeah, we want to
tour a lot,
release some more songs.
yeah, and play a lot of festivals. But then if you think long term, we just want to do this until we die, every day, not have to have another shitty job just to survive.
We just want to tour. We just want to play for people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're in a phase now where we are. There's not that many festivals in Sweden, obviously, because it's kind of cold outside. So it's not that many gigs and stuff. So we're making songs now. We're writing, and we make
A lot.
a lot of songs. So when we get the opportunity to go into the studio, we have a lot of material. But we're gonna have we always have like parties in our rehearsal studio. So we're gonna have one after Christmas, and we have like friends invited, and we play live here. So that's the next show, like a sub-punk show. It's gonna be awesome.
Go to our Facebook page and like us, and we'll post like small funny videos and crazy stuff there all the time, like every day.
Yeah, we post like videos all the time. The latest video is from this Sunday when we were out motocross riding in the snow.
Yes, check it out.
Yeah, and they have also we have something going on with one of the biggest freestyle motocross teams in Sweden, and they're really, really good. They're like Travis Pastrana style, good. And we're trying to do something together with Metal Malaysia, the freestyle motocross team, and us and stuff. And it's gonna be a cool thing, I think. Like a kind of a Nitro Circus.
Extreme sports show with music.
Like with live bands, like with good live bands. So that's something to
Think about. Look
heads up
out.
for.
No, but